I'm very privileged to announce that I have Marilyn Manson sat next to me in his hotel room in central London. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. That sounded like we might be doing something bad.
No, we're on chairs. The bed is far away and it's very well made and it's not...
Bed is not necessary to do bad things.
Can you tell me a little bit of about what your days had in store for it so far?
I've been quite a whirlwind of... shot a movie with a great friend of mine, Quentin, who directed a film called Rubber, then shot a video for our single No Reflection. I got on a plane, went to various countries, flew from Taiwan, 20 hours, came to England. Didn't have much time to recover from jet lag. Met a few people, and then now I'm meeting you, and now I have to run off and get on a train to Paris.
Yes, I'm not going to keep you for too long. You are due to get... you have a car in about half an hour's time whisking you off to Paris, I believe.
That sounds like I'm a prostitute.
Special appointment in Paris later tonight. You haven't had a chance to eat either, and there's all this beautiful food waiting for you.
I don't know about that, if it's beautiful or not. I just wanted to drink, and I've got that, so we're good.
Before we get on to a little bit about the album, my own personal intrigue into Marilyn Manson's life is the fact that people presume that you live this crazy mental lifestyle, but actually there must be moments where you sit down and you watch TV and you order food in with your friends, or you go out to restaurants and...
Well, that's really what I do mostly. Is I have the place where I live is where I recorded the album and where I paint, and it was a dance studio, and I just converted it. I put all of my belongings in storage. I just have my books, my films, and my musical instruments and my paints. And I just have one giant wall, about, I would say the size of this wall, one of these walls, about 30 feet high, and it's not that tall, with a projector, and I invite my friends over, and whoever I might be, who wants to hang out and watch things and be inspired or have a laugh or whatever it is. I just tried to make a place that was maybe in the tradition of what I may have fantasized what it would be like to have been at the factory with Andy Warhol. It's a place where you've got everything you need. I don't have a real kitchen or a dining room table. It's just a bar. I live over a liquor store, but so that makes it easy. My backyard is a parking lot with hobos in it, but so we watch movies, we can make music, there's a room to sleep in, there's a bathroom.
It's like a creative hub for lots of different things to happen.
It's a playground, and then that's what's really, there's a lot of paintings and things that I've done that no one's seen yet, but most importantly, the music. And it's been a up and down great ride to making this record, and I have no regrets. I think it was very much me taking control over my life again and feeling like I did when I wanted to make music in the first place. That was as simple as I can't take for granted anything. When I meet someone, I say hello, this is who I am. Do you want to hear a song? If you do. If you don't, that's cool too. And if you do, here it is. So I don't expect people to have heard my previous music, and I don't want to be governed or limited or expected to put into my head what the past music I've created should, affect what I'm going to make now.
So you're making
all I know is that I just need to make it to impress someone who has or has not heard my music. That's the whole point. Is I just need to be confident and the best at what I do, and that's what I did when I made this record, and I had a good time making it, and it's my favorite record so far, despite the fact that everyone always says it when they make a record. This was my favorite experience making a record.
It sounds like you're trying to make first impression all over again. Is there a particular reason you kind of wanted to reset and give people a chance to see you as they hadn't heard you before?
Actually, it's different than that. It's more of just make a first impression, because you can't make a first impression all over again. You can only make a first impression once, but I just was looking at things from a simpler point of view, that I'd started to get back into the whole concept of even socializing and talking to people and meeting and working with different people that may or may not like or have even heard my music, or may have hated my music, and just meeting them and making a friendship as a person, just like I did when I made my first record. I made a flyer myself, went to Kinko's, printed it, put it on a cars myself, and people came to my show, and I didn't even have songs written when I made that flyer. I had to have the same attitude where, I'm going to make a record that, despite what you think about anything, if you even know anything about what I've done in the past, I want you to hear this, and I want it to make you feel something. And as opposed to, maybe, for example, my last record, to use as an example, I made people feel what I was feeling, and I wanted people to feel something of their own on this record. I wanted to move them to feel something that belonged to them. It was a different approach. I just wanted to, a lot of the vocals, when I recorded them, I had people in the room with me, like you do when you perform live. I wasn't doing a concert. I just meant that when you're sitting in a room with headphones on and everyone else just hears your naked voice, it drives you to be better at what you do. You know, it's very, for me in the past, I've always been in an isolation booth, and, you know, it was singing, you know, of course, even karaoke for whoever, if you want to try and understand it. It's embarrassing. It's like sitting in front of the class and reading a book report. And I felt like that made me have a better time making the record, and also drove me to make a record that I think was more appealing to.
You said that there were certain aspects about your lifestyle that you wanted to change in order to make this record. You've mentioned changing your actual living space, turning that into a more kind of creative space. Were there any things about, you know, other parts of your lifestyle that you think needed changing?
Yeah, I had to kick some girls out of my life. I mean, but that wasn't their particular faults. But I think it was much more finding, just realizing and enjoying the fact that the reason why you do art, or the fact that you're in a rock and roll band, it's supposed to be the dream, living the dream. It's supposed to be enjoyable. You should feel satisfied when you're done doing it. At the end of the night, you should go to sleep feeling like you did what you wanted to do. And I think in the past, I was feeling like I wasn't satisfied with how anything went. But it wasn't in the same way where I'll never be content and always want to strive to be better. But that's not the same as not being satisfied. And it's almost like if life were a dinner and you just threw up every night. And that's the way I felt before making this record, that nothing really, my body was rejecting it, my soul was rejecting it, and I realized that I just had to strip everything away. So I just put everything in storage. I had nothing to worry about. I just had my cat.
Can I ask your cat's name?
Cat. Lily White. My cat was my responsibility, and if I made enough money to take care of my cat and take care of my parents, then that's all I had to do. So if I had to give hand jobs on the streets, that's what I would do. Instead, I decided to make music because it was it was less chafing on my palms.
And I think the cat's probably happier knowing that you made music rather than doing that.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised my cat isn't deaf, because she loves to sit right on top of the speakers when I record. It's very strange, but she has since she was a kitten. So first time I've heard you mention your mother and father, and do you have much sort of regular contact with them? Are you a family man? I am, and in different ways. I take care of my family, as they took care of me, and my father, I'm going to be seeing him in a couple weeks. My mother, is ill, so that's different. But my father is essentially a pervert and a salesman, so that kind of defines me, I suppose, in some way.
Have you played the record to them? Do your parents' opinion on your music matter at this stage? Well,
my dad likes it. So, I mean, he's very critical of me. I mean, he told me he said, just forget this. And my first job was painting the walls at the furniture store that he managed. And then I went on to become a painter of watercolorings. So, whatever. It's funny. My dad is, we have a good relationship, yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much for chatting. It's been a real pleasure getting inside the mind of Marilyn Manson for a moment.
Thank you.